a good thought, a good question. Did anybody look at my itch.io page? I wasn't really expecting. Let's go. I guess let's go to my dashboard, and well, that's not really what I meant to do, but that's okay. Nobody wrote any comments, so it's okay because it's what it is. It's kind of boring. Yeah, it's mostly just a thing to show that that I am working on it. And it'll be updated as time goes on with this subsequent phases. And in this case, the narrative pass, I'll put another one up for the narrative pass, and then beyond that, they'll just be for the actual phases, not in parts because I won't be dividing it into parts. I will be adding more to some stories and stuff, and so I'll probably when I add the pages, I'll probably add them as event pages, and then I'll go back over them as narrative pages. But it won't be two releases in the same phase from that point on. Okay. Um, I'm using Rock, Gemini, and Chat GPT, and my game will read that. Okay. What I'm supposed to be doing right now is mapping. So let's pull up Frizzbort.io, and here's my current like overview map right now. Um, say I have to place the schools. Um, yeah, maybe I should just adjust the sizes later. I'm not really sure. Like relative sizes, right? This. There, on it. I hate that. I hate the fact that none of these actually use scroll wheel for zoom. I'm so used to using scroll wheel for zooming, and I like using to scroll down on a regular web page, but this isn't a regular web page here. 3, 4. Let's back. No, let's zoom out and see if that looks all right. Okay, that looks okay for me. So basically, the idea here is if you're watching and you don't know is okay, instead of kind of a traditional hub and spoke design, and really this is not that much different. It just kind of looks different from this little overhead view I'm making here. But is that there are 4 lands, right? This is set up like a theme park, right? 4 lands where each of the magical training schools are. They used to be essentially campuses of the same school when it was actually a real school. but has been converted into a a tourist temporary training facility essentially. So, and then you can't really see the unless I zoom in, but we have Nightland and Princess Land up here, and we got Wizard Land and Fairy Godland. And that's land on purpose because of Disneyland, you know, Fantasyland, Frontierland, Adventureland, Tomorrowland, right? Main Street, um, and then the castle is usually at the center. And in a sense, this is almost similar to that design, just in the way its location is slightly different. So what they call the hub and spoke design, basically, the castle would be in the middle here, and then all of these would be like spokes off, like you know, bop 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 like that. So it looks like a semicircle, like a wagon wheel or something. In this case, the this actually goes off into other directions, right? It goes off like that, and then this is your main strip. And so the stem is actually the main um, is the place where all the shops and restaurants and hotels are, or as we like to say, shops, inns, and taverns, or stores, restaurants, and hotels. But basically, yeah. So the strip has its own names. I almost call it the strip because it's easier to kind of reference it like that. But it has two names. One is it's officially called the Renaissance Fair, and the other one's more of a nickname or an alternate name called Orthogon Alley. And yes, that's a little nod to Harry Potter. Um, partly, it's also partly the play on the words sort of thing. You know how Diagon Alley is like diagonally, right? So the idea is that to get to Diagon Alley, you have to there's like some secret way, you know. It's like if you're traveling down a street and you have an alleyway, but the alleyway is angled towards you, um, and you can't actually see the alleyway until you're like right next to it, and then you look at it and it's like goes the other way. That's the way I always picture. Even though Diagon Alley is supposed to be like magical, like they have magical entrance and stuff, right? Um, but it's sort of like that. So the play on words Diagon Alley diagonally. In other words, you can't get it going directly. And then this is exactly the opposite. This is Orthogon Alley as a joke, an in joke, but at the same time, it's a direct strip. You go up to the and it's also like Main Street, right? So yeah. And let's add a note in here, and um, we'll call this the a response. How come it's not updating though? There we go, the Renaissance Fair. Um, all right, we're gonna do that, and then I'm going to change the shape to that. Okay. I wonder something though. If I did this, E E I S A N C E fair. Okay. I see. In order to do that, do that. But in so doing, I can also make this super. The Renaissance Fair. Oh, I guess I can't. I can't make it smaller than that, huh? It won't let me. Oh, okay. Let's actually zoom out here. Can't really tell because you can't really tell anything from here, can you? The Renaissance Fair. Okay, let's actually fix this here. The Renaissance Fair. Okay. How come? Interesting. See if I do that. Okay. Okay. I have to actually use lowercase letters. That. Okay. And then let's just go ahead and what what's going on? What? Um, the real um benefit is just bouncing ideas. It. Hmm. I mostly use my own ideas. Occasionally, there's something that's really good or funny that I decide to use, but mostly I use my own ideas. Occasionally, I just didn't want to fight with that. Occasionally, Okay. Anyways, go down. Yeah, at least I can. Let's go ahead and add another note here. Let's call this orthogon. Okay. Dang. If I change this back to a square, uh, just do it. Okay. Let's zoom out. Yeah. I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna cover the screen. I'm gonna zoom in. Zoom out one, I guess. Okay. So let's take a screen. It has two names. One is because it was a joke, and the other is because it's an irony. And Orthogon Alley is mostly a joke, and Renaissance Fair is an irony, right? It's ironic that a medieval setting, medieval street, is called the Renaissance Fair because Renaissance fairs actually try to simulate what life would be like in Middle Ages. Well, not really what life would be like, but what, some games and things. Okay, and let's go ahead and hmm, I always thought that each of the schools would be like close to the hotel, but um, the like Lapswood, which is up in here. Actually, Lapswood's up there, isn't it? Let me think for a second. It's kind of, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Here. Anyways, before I shrink that back down, let's take a screenshot of the window. Take a screenshot. This. Okay. Copy the clipboard. Really, I just want this for Grok to look at it. Okay. So right now I'm mapping, and I've only got till 240 for this session. And here's what it like. Let's shrink this back down though now, so I can have the chat things open. Real clear. Tells it's cleanly in the cinema's good length and present. Summarize suggestions. Stem's a little narrow compared to the big leaves. Consider bumping it up. Um, Yeah. Um, this Trisbort has docs here. Let's go to the actual original page for it. I wonder if there's this one. Let's play in a text format, huh? Interesting. It doesn't really have documents though, does it? Hmm. Well, that's where I was though. Huh. Doesn't really have any uh docs with it. Was it? It's very minimal document. Short in-app welcome tutorial. This the layers at all. I also found out when I had put a block uh, over one of the leaves and tried to resize it, it would then select the leaf and wouldn't let me mess with the separate block I had just placed. Hmm. You can't create um, usually selects the topmost object. Um, sure. I guess. It seems like even though this meant for this kind of thing, it's not really. It's still not as full features as it could be. I mean, I could use like something like Inkscape or some paint program or something, I guess. But then it's not really. It's not doing the thing I want it to do. You know, my layout tool. My layout tool will look more like Twine. Like Twine, you edit stuff, right? And you make games with it. You don't really map it, but I could almost use Twine as a mapping tool. I could almost use That's kind of interesting. Since I'm not having locations in my game, I mean, right now there's not actual locations. It's not doesn't work that ways. They're pages, right? I call them rooms, but they're essentially just pages because I don't have a proper room yet. In fact, eventually it's gonna have a proper room, proper location. Um, but right now, um, I don't have that. And again, what's the deal? What's the deal with the drop frames? I don't get it. I mean, part of it might be because it's Starlink, maybe. I know it got the speed, but like, and the upload speeds are good, but for some reason it keeps dropping out on me. Maybe it's because I'm on Wi-Fi though. Um, Best method: use marquee selection. Hold control. Click to remove object from a current selection. If something keeps selecting the wrong item, temporarily drag the Z order or use the small toolbar buttons that appear when the objects are selected. Working with a big box plus leaves. When placing a new block or room on top of a leaf, immediately send back so the leaf so the new object stays selectable. Or work in this order. Draw your big leaf blocks first, place the hotel in stem, then add smaller rooms inside the leaves. No. Hmm. Are there any other alternatives? I mean, this seems like the only one that will allow me to build connections. Yeah, you know, honestly, I'm treating this like a paint program or an overhead map when really close. It's supposed to be used um, for laying out locations like you would with boxes. Hmm. Actually, I'm trying to map this. I'm not trying to map actual connections, right? I'm trying to do a map, aren't I? So I should, I think I have a link to Excalidraw, draw.io, Obsidian plus Canvas. I don't know. Let me look at Excalidraw again. rectangle, diamond, ellipse. Actually, let's go to square here. Stroke with stroke, layers, and it does do layers. So like, if I did this, but how come? Oh, Control C, Control V. You know, um. So the question is, frame tool, web embed, laser pointer, lasso selection. So I guess that's really what I want. I don't want the like Trizboard would be good for when I actually make locations. When I have locations in the game, I actually have physical locations, and they need to be linked, and then I do them like directionally. So I say instead of being an actual map of the land, like you would look at an actual map, um, that would be a little connection map, which would show the cardinal directions and how they linked to each. You go left, you get to this screen. You go right, get to this screen. That sort of thing. Yeah, and I can do all the same stuff. Uh, and what about zoom? Do we have a zoom? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Arrow, line, insert image, erase. Hmm. I wonder if I can just control plus it. Yeah, control plus. Um, Now this is going to be toggle grid. Awesome. I like grids. That's panning though. That's not what we want. Oh, keep selected tool active after drawing. I see. Hmm. Okay. And I can also just freehand draw it. I can probably draw with my tablet if I need to. But I'm not doing that kind of on purpose. Okay. Sloppiness. Boom. Okay, let's just delete. Delete. Okay. Um oh, I see. Edges. That's fine. Let's try the circle tool. You got opacity on here, huh? Yeah, I mean, yeah, shift. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, sorry, I'm just playing with that. I didn't mean to. 241. That means I'm done mapping. And Save to. Support link. What's Excal plus? Oh, I see. Pricing. Let's see their pricing. For later functions, when infinite scene unlimited cloud errors, export to PNG, SVG, or save to file. Notion, Obsidian, and other integrations, libraries. Your browser, open source software for devs. Everything free, unlimited scenes and folders, actively saved on cloud, access management. Oh. Now, let's go back. Or let's go back to the actual thing here. Open. Can't. Invalid file, of course. Save to. Enchanted. Okay. Save to file. Oh, so it has its own kind of file. All right. Okay, let's just save it. I don't care. That's cool. And then open. It's got to be in here somewhere. Gemlines, Excel draw. Select. And honestly, I didn't have anything on it, but that's fine. I just wanted to. Okay. Save file. Why? Replace. Let's replace it. Open the folder. Okay. All right. Well, that's good for right now. Okay, so really I should try to make this more like a program since overlapping areas. It's essentially a map of the world, not an adventure game communication connection app. All right. So I'm using draw. I'll figure it out, but my time for this, so it's okay. It's still my first week back from a break after the event passed. So I'm still setting things up. So I'm going to break for about 5 minutes, and when I get back, I'm messing with code. But I think I've been using Gemini mainly because it can read my large files. So if I need something like a function or something, I'll talk to you. Something smaller. And I do say thanks, even though they don't care if I say thanks. Okay, so I'm just gonna hit the BRB. Okay. 247. Here. Well, I'm gonna cover this up anyways. Just on purpose, sort of. Okay. So when I get back, I'll be starting on the. I'll be going back to my code. Because I'm getting ready to make sure that I can seamlessly transition to my layout tool from the editor and transition away from the Redot editor as my tool. So I think anyways, I'll be back in approximately 5 minutes. I'm gonna mute the mic though for that 5 minutes. Okay, let's go back. And I am back. I think it was a little bit more than 5 minutes, but okay. Now I have 2:55 to 3:25. So I have approximately 30 minutes. Should have had 40 minutes, but that's just the way that worked. Okay. So here I am going to go ahead and close that. I think we're going to do Excalibur from here on out as far as that goes. Right now, let's go to do some Gemini. Okay. Actually, let's go to Notebook and okay. So yesterday, um, so can you tell when was the last time we chatted? I'm gonna see if it comes up with it. I'm just curious. I mean, it should be pretty easy to do that. That should not even be like a privacy concern or nothing. Just May 6th. Okay, you're wrapping up your session from the day after realizing, deleting the empty ghost nodes, saving the scene. Um, yeah, actually, I did it after I stopped streaming. Essentially, I only work on my game when I'm streaming. It's sort of a rule. In actuality, um, uh, live streams and the game itself are of equal importance. Can't do one without the other. And yes, I'm doing this so I get an audience on my live streams, but at the same time, the game is still the point. This is why I'm not streaming the other subject or project. UI implementation, fantastic. That fix worked, and your scene fully. Your stream room makes perfect sense. Tying the game's development exclusively to your live stream is bringing a way to stay accountable and build a dedicated community since the game and stream are of equal importance. It gives your viewers a reason to invest time. Yeah. Uh, well, I need to pull up the code and see if there's any other refactoring I need to do just yet. Budget minutes. In fact, I will probably upload the current version in a minute or two so you can analyze it. So, what am I getting gas for? I know too much information, gas, but gas is gas. Whatever. Okay, probably just remove Redot 4.3 now. It is a it is a little faster. You know what? Maybe I should. I'm in the Discord. Let's go to the Redot Discord. You can't see it obviously. I'm not putting it on the screen right now, but we'll do the Redot Discord. Here's something interesting. It seems that we got stable 4.3 is zippier, faster. Zippier than 26.1 LTS. Any reasons? Just curious. Because it does. It seems like this is slower. Like it runs slower, it saves slower, everything is slower. Now, part of it might have to do with my actual code and stuff, but so yeah, and also basically when I let's see something here. Okay, let's do something here. Control S. I wish I could do a like a save copy without actually affecting the current copy. Like, there's some apps that have like a save a copy function where basically um, you're still working with your current version, but when you save a copy, it saves the exact copy to a different file name. Because I do that. I mean, I could do a save as, but then now I'm working at in the save as thing, and I'm not working in the thing. But anyways, let's go here. Let's go to scripts. Let's go to layout tool.gd. Copy it. Let's go to where did I put it? I put it in here. I put it in source code files. Okay, paste. Now layout tool.gd.text. Let's delete that. Delete. Right. And then let's rename this dot .txt like so. Okay. Now that's layout tool, not layout room. And let's go ahead. I haven't uploaded anything yet, so that would still be the old one. Hold on. Okay. Let's go to drive. Okay. Let's go to. I'm gonna actually go into the videos. I don't like using the recently used files or most used or whatever that's called. This one, layout tool, and then we're going to go ahead and file information, manage versions, upload a new version, right? Source code files, layout tool, .gd.txt, select. Okay. Close. Okay. Layout. Layout room.gd didn't get changed. I might have made a mistake and just layout room layout tool txt. And you can look at that one now. Oh, oh, oh wait, I need sync. Hold on. Okay. Out tool synced. So out tool gd.txt. The dictionary refactors in place. I can see that Git is correctly looping through Room's dictionary. Rebuild has the room data. Safety check installed. Um, owner should still be there because otherwise I don't get a name on I don't get the name in the scene tree. So they need to stay there. Maybe they don't need it when I make the final transition from tool script. So, because at that point, I'm still not sure if not having an owner there will still display correctly in the tool, but it should. The damaged owner will only appear in the scene tree dock if their owner is set to edited scene root. If you remove the owner, the nodes will still physically render in the 2D viewport, but they will get completely invisible in your scene tree hierarchy. Standalone tool hypothesis. When you finally drop the tool script to transition the editor scene tree dock no longer exists at runtime. The engine doesn't care about the owner property for visibility, so your rooms and doors will display perfectly fine without it. You still need the room names. You should definitely keep the owner assignments. However, no, actually, I don't think it will. When I deleted the ghost nodes, everything came up fine. So I can save, I can load, etc. It doesn't seem to have a problem. Although I suppose I could test it right now by adding a dummy room or something, and it seems to have a problem. I just um I just forgot that when I'm screwing around with the source code using tool scripts, it automatically runs them, and so it gives me a bunch of garbage, and that actually saves in the file. But since I'm loading them from JSON and recreating them, then all is needed is that there are no rooms in the scene when I save it in the editor. The save button in the plugin handles the actual saving of the room out to JSON. I'm louding them from JSON. How about that? How about them apples? It's faster saving files, faster loading a scene, etc. than the 26.1 PS version. I'm still using 26.1, it's just that it was faster in 4.3 stable. Okay. Set owner inside. You remove the owner assignment. Godot will treat your dynamically generate exactly how you describe as temporary runtime only visuals. This is strictly to let you interact with the JSON data. It will spawn when the tool loads, function perfectly, and vanish into the ether when you close the scene, keeping your TC file permanently clean. To make this a reality and stop garbage click, delete all the generated rooms in your rooms node manually in the editor, save the scene, create that clean empty baseline. Okay. Okay, so explain the cleanup loops. I mean, I know what they are in my code, but why I need to modify them. You know, like ready and stuff. Actually, I don't need to do it that way, as I can just go to, should be in here, right here, ready. Clearing rooms. Okay, this is actually removing it from dictionary. Because I'm trying to get rid of them in the scene tree, and they should be in the scene tree. It shouldn't be the dictionary, right? So I get I think I get that. Maybe hopefully it'll tell me that directly. Every saves your scene. Right now inside your cleanup loops are iterating over to clear out the existing room. A safety check function potentially filters out. This is a great fix because it stops the editor from crashing and ensures your tool. Okay. Because your room's dictionary successfully ignores the empty ghost nodes, looping through the dictionary to clean up your scene means your code only deletes valid rooms, completely skips over the empty ghost nodes because they're never allowed into the dictionary in the first place. These were actually just defensive things too, so Because I'm trying to defensively clean up the rooms in the scene tree, not necessarily the dictionary. Because I don't want them in there when I recreate the rooms. Okay. Where okay. So I'll manually iterate through the children, then select only layout room. Instead of get room, and even though I can use get room children, which I may or may not have removed, okay. Dictionary. Yeah. Okay. So, where am I cleaning up loops again? I know in ready, of course, at the top, but I don't remember where the other ones are. So it'll check the files and it will do it and it will tell me. So we'll see. We will see. Okay. Cleanup loops are located in 3 different functions inside your layout tool. Right now they're iterating. Ready. Exit tree. Okay. I don't have to worry about that when I finally transition, which is nice. That during load stuff had to do with the same thing, the tool script and the scene node and all that. So it wouldn't do it multiple times. Much garbage. So when I finally duplicate the functionality in my tool, then I can remove all of that scaffolding. Yeah, you're absolutely right. During the load, right now, your layout room script notification function listens for transform changes, modified true. Spans transform updates when you dynamically spawn and move nodes. You had to wrap your little rooms function that stopped the engine from instantly making a refresh. The room is modified. Once the loading finishes, your deferred allow notification function finally sets it back to false. When you fully transition, you control the entire environment. You won't be fighting this editor scene tree dock or its automatic transform updates as you duplicate the necessary functionality in your own custom UI. You will be able to rep out all the defensive scaffolding, including during load. Engine is editor hit and set owner. Your code base will become incredibly clean and streamlined. Okay, so I'll tend to the cleanup loops, and then probably have to call it a day. And tomorrow I'll probably start modifying the layout tool in earnest. There's a defect in it that's not really a bug, but it's not acting like I want it to, that I have to fix. I call it a defect. Well, okay. I have to fix. I call it a defect instead of a bug because it's working exactly how it was programmed, but I want it to act differently. Yeah. Okay, so layout tool, right? In the ready, right? So we want, and I don't think, is get room children still in here? Get room children. Oh, I called it get room children. Oh, right. Um, okay, let's go to get room children. Oh, and your child in rooms like it is layout room. Okay. Okay, that we're doing that, and then we'll go back to ready. First ready, and we will go in and we will modify. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, this, this. Now I'm going to put in that. And we're actually gonna recopy these. And of course it's not gonna be room, it's gonna be child, but that's okay. We'll fix that in just a second. Child. And then child queue free like that. So what we'll do is we'll do this. So okay. And if I'm doing the same code, we'll go to enter tree. Enter tree doesn't do that. Exit tree. Okay. So this is what we're doing. We're doing that, 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 and then here we're gonna save that. Get child count. Okay. Get room children. Okay, like that. Okay. Exit tree, and then load all rooms. Apparently I'm doing it in load all rooms as well. Okay, load. I don't know if I should do these alphabetically or not. Where is load all rooms? I know it's in here somewhere. There we go. Okay. Okay. Right. And we need to back that code up. Right? Okay. Right. Back that code up. Okay. I think that's it. So what I'm going to do here is first we're going to go to 2D, and we're just going to, actually what we're going to do is we're just going to select, we're going to check this out here. Everything looks good, right? Everything looks like it's supposed to. Right. Okay, so I'm going to reload save scene, see if anything weird happens, which it could. Okay. Did it do anything weird? It's still existing. Everything looking good. Okay, it looks good. Okay, everything looks good. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do the thing again here. And let's do it differently. Let's go to here. Let's go to there. Let's go to scripts, layout, tool dot gd. This one. And we're going to copy and we're going to paste. And we are going to rename here .txt. We're going to cut it. Cut. Go here. We're going to go back into here. We're going to go back into source code files. We're going to go into, we're going to paste, and we're going to replace. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and file information, manage versions, upload new version. Okay, layout tool .gd.text. Select. Okay, close that. We're gonna go back in here. We are gonna go. Whoop, what happened? We're gonna go to layout tool.gd. You could, the designer using just needs to pivot how you remove. I'll do that in just a second here. Okay. First, can you look over the layout tool gd.txt file now, since I've just implemented any fixes on cleaning up loops and uploaded and resynced. Yep, see, I'm supposed to have stopped 5 minutes ago, but I have to do these little, it's like you do these little finishing up deals, and it's just like, I can never seem to get, maybe I should like be like 10 minutes, actually 10 minutes. You know what, here's the funny thing, okay, so I don't know if anybody's even watching or listening, or if they'll ever spot it later, but you know in Back to the Future where Marty comes back and um Marty sets his he sets the time circuits in the time machine to be 10 minutes earlier because he has a time machine. He can do that. And then what he does is he goes from the street, he goes all the way to the mall, and then he goes down the hill, and then he sees himself like taking off. You can't do anything in 10 minutes. Should have known that. Every time I watch that, I'm like, I've seen it a million times. I'm like, no, 10 minutes is not enough. You need at least 30 minutes, maybe an hour. You know, you need to get there early so that you can fix that. Set it for, at least 30 minutes, because he can't get nothing done in 10 minutes. Barely get over there in 10 minutes, man. I know it's movie magic. The mall could be just like the next street over, and so it could take like 2 minutes to get there, maybe. Um, but you're just supposed to kind of suspend disbelief and just go with it because of the way they edit it, right? But each time I go, it's like, no, 10 minutes is not enough. You can't get nothing done in 10 minutes. At least nowadays, you can't. File perfectly, and your cleanup loop. It's actually a brilliant catch if you had blindly deleted. That's a perfect vacuum. Good to see the room names you seen Tree Doc when you. Okay. Oh, so I have selection. I have box selection and even single selection working, and you can move them around. But because of kind of the way I did it, um, it now does not move until you select it. So you have to either click on it and release, or do a selection box around a single panel, and then it allows you to move. But it's kind of annoying. I'd like it to automatically select and move once I have selected it. Just select and move at one time. Canvas is infinite. Yeah, I think it is too. Really, what I needed was more of a paint program kind of setup, because I'm doing like an overview map, an actual world map, not a node room with connections type of map. Because Bort is for that more. So I'm going to have to switch this color draw or something. Right now, inside your input event function of the mouse motion drag section, your code explicitly loops to select your room's values. See if the drag started over a room. Because of this, if the room is already in that selected rooms dictionary, the script completely ignores the drag attempt and draws the blue selection box instead. To make it automatically select and drag in one fluid motion, you need to change that loop to check all rooms. If the mouse started over a room that isn't selected yet, you can automatically clear the old selection, select the new room, and instantly start dragging. Updated block. Okay, I might do that tomorrow. Thanks. but I'm out of time now. So I'm gonna have to in the tool, I'm gonna have to create a multi-line first a multi-line text box, and yeah, I'm gonna have to recreate the UI essentially of the inspector. I'll have to have a field for the title, for the ID of the title, the chapter, the description, and then the doors will have to be a separate deal, even though they'll probably be sitting on top of that same panel. Like I think I'll have buttons there to do that. I think. Uh, uh, we'll see. I'll check out the fix tomorrow. I haven't implemented it yet, hence tomorrow. But thanks. Oh, well. Ben. Okay. So, um, okay, I got to do my little recording thing. Okay. So, start recording again. Today it's Thursday, May 7th, 2026, and today I kind of didn't get a lot done, sort of. I was looking up stuff that I can make a mood board with, quote unquote mood board. What did we decide? Here, let me pull up here. What did I decide for a mood board? I guess I installed Lunacy via Flatpak. So yeah, let's go ahead and go to graphics. Lunacy is going to be in there. That's interesting. Okay, I wonder how come the dark mode is not there anymore. I mean, I can do that. Okay, so yeah, so this is what I was in here, and I'm going through the tutorial, and so that's partly what I did. I got to number 10, which is like down here somewhere. 10 drawing shapes, 11 pan tool, resizing layers. Anyways, just a tutorial, and I'll be using it as a mood board. In other words, I'll pick some images, I'll throw them into a board, and I'll save it, and then I'll refer to it. In fact, I'll probably throw files into a folder, and then also create a mood board where I put all of them in there, and I'll kind of do it like that. So that's what I did there. And then the narrative pass, I didn't really do that much for the narrative pass here either, but I did kind of restart it. So instead of just nobody knows when it started, blah blah blah, that takes too long. I wanted to get right into it because once upon a time there existed the sunny X of the world. Someone eventually found it, and then it became a living realm with skies, land, rivers, and seas. More people joined this person. And they built a kingdom. It was a magic kingdom. Eventually, the tax burden started climbing, and the king and his most trusted advisor and best friend Harold put their heads together to find a solution. It was Harold who came up with the idea of turning it into a tourist resort, and thus Enchanted Land's magical resort was born. Things were going well until someone showed up going by the name Maximilians. Pretty soon the king was acting strangely, being distant from his former friend and advisor and cavorting with Max. Eventually he sold the kingdom to Maximilians Enchanted Holding Limited, and that's where I stopped because that's where I ran out of time. And then as far as the mapping goes, yeah, so the mapping, like, let's see. I was using Trizport, right? So let's pull up Trizport. So I started by adding, I shortened the stem here, and then I started by adding these notes, the Renaissance Fair or Orthogon Alley, and I realized something that I wasn't going to be able to actually um, like do layers and stuff because this is not really built for that. This is built for making basically node like node maps, right? For your adventure game, not like an overview map, not like a world map that you want to view, right? Um, if you look at this picture here, the way it has it, it's got forest pass, it's up a tree, up, down, right, and then this is down, uh, forest, and all that kind of thing, right? Um, Same thing here, right? So it's really meant to lay out how your screens or your rooms or your locations go together, rather than the actual uh, visual overview map, right? Well, everything with the rooms and stuff. And so I decided to change to, and I put it in here, Excalidraw. Now, this is all I got here in Excalidraw is this circle. Just because I was getting up and running, I was figuring out how to use it a little bit, and I didn't get that much time to. Okay, and then finally, on my on the code side, I just cleaned up a little bit of code. Wasn't a lot, but I essentially um, uh, I essentially fixed the cleanup loops, which are these ones that remove everything from the tree so that it can rebuild them, because it loads from the JSON to put back into the scene tree. And so I had to fix those because I had switched them to using the dictionary, and that's not what you want this for. This is for tool script stuff. So I fixed that, and so yeah, I didn't get that much done there either. And tomorrow I should get the this, right. So you can't drag and move it. It just does the selection box only. But once you do the selection box, you can do it, right? So I'll have to fix that before I actually start on working on the interface proper. Anyways, that's what I did for today, and I will see you tomorrow. And thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch you later. Thank you for watching part 2.